Leo, what's the deal? It's the Don, Tony Teflon, House Teflon, and I'm bringing you Game of Thrones, Season 3, Episode 10, Season Finale Review. The season's over, and that's very sad to me. But, we got 10 more months before the next one goes. So, 10 months ain't that bad. And in these 10 months, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a lot of videos for you on different things to keep you entertained and everything. So, subscribe. So, you make sure you up on that. Tell your friends, subscribe. So, it's worthwhile me doing. And let's get into this one. All right. Now, I love this episode. In fact, I'm going to give you a season recap. Another video, next video will be that the whole season will do. But I thought, and saying that, I thought the season was very strong. I thought it was the best season. Season 1 probably, obviously you can't top that, but season 3 was better than season 2. Far, far, far better. You know what I mean? So, I'll give you that right there. But let's get to this episode. First off, you see Lord Bolton going and he's looking over the edge, and just the Stark men are just getting murked. I mean, all over the place. Dude got his leg chopped off, another dude's getting hung, look like some guts is hanging out of somebody else, and they just doing everything. And then, on top of all that, you see Arya and the Hound, and what does she get to see? These dudes singing this song. Here comes the King of the North. Here comes the King of the North. Here comes the King of the North. And they got this dude, Rob. First they got a stake, tied to a stake, sitting on top of a horse. Then they took a spear, a pike, and stuck it down where his throat would be if they didn't chop off his head, right there. And then put the direwolf's head on top of it. Chopped the direwolf's head off and stuck it on the pike and stuck the pike down this dude's throat. And just paraded him around on the horse. And I don't know, like in the books, I'm going to talk about the books, it's not a spoiler. It doesn't go down like that. What happens is he's sitting down and they sew the wolf's head on top of him. And stuff like that, which is very dramatic in itself. But this was even, I think, worse. I don't know if I'm traumatized by it or not, but I like it. But it was terrible. I can't stop thinking about it. And I was thinking about it all day, singing the song and just seeing this dude and that wolf's head is huge, just sitting out there, and that's nuts. And this was just very, 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 very gruesome and very great. And I hope they do a lot more things like that, because that's what this series is about. Great, gruesome things. So then you see Arya, she got to eat this too. Boom, she sees that. And I thought the Hound was going to have to fight his way out of there to get him out of there, but he got him out of there and stuff like that. And then they go off and do their little thing and stuff like that. So the King of the North, they do that thing, yada yada. Then you get Lord Bolton, let's talk about these two, and Lord Frey explaining exactly why they did what they did. And now Lord Frey, he's supposed to get River Run. Lord Bolton is the warden of the North. He's supposed to take over Winterfell whenever he feels like it. And I guess that's what happens. You lose confidence in your peoples. You got to roll with the winning side. And I guess this dude just abandoned shit and just wanted to do it. Now it's Roose Bolton's thing. And then he tells you the story of what happened in Winterfell. And then the story that this dude torturing Theon was his son, is his son the whole time and stuff like that, and his son's just been torturing him. Ramsay Snow, really. Now, I knew that this was this dude from the jump, you know what I mean? And I don't know how a lot of people didn't pick up on it. Number one, the first sign I had, I will tell you right now, the first clue I had, it was him, was when he let Theon go the first time, and then Theon gets ran down, then he comes out with the arrows and he starts shooting these cats down. Before he shoots the last one, the guy looks him in his face and says, "You little bastard," and then he shoots him. That was clue number one that you should have got. Number two, it's pretty obvious if you look at the X that Theon was on, that it matches the sigil of the Boltons. I mean, I don't know how no one picked that up. You should have got that right from the jump. But it seems like it was supposed to be some big mystery, and I guess a lot of people didn't get that. But it was obvious from the start for me. But I'm a book reader, so Maybe it would be. Let me just try to get this light. There we go, baby. There you go. Keep that behind the noggin. Alright. So then you get that, and then this cat just eating the sausage, and at first I thought it was this cat's shit he was eating. And then, it wasn't. And then, so you see it now, you see him, what this is, he on some Kuta Kente type shit. And this saying that my name is Toby, your name is Reek. And he's going to beat this shit into him like his name is Reek. So I guess that's where that's going. He's just going to take this dude's identity away from him totally if he can. And just beat him to death and make him a different person. And then going from that, let's go to the other Greyjoys. And you see Bolden, this Greyjoy cat, you know what I mean? I got no love for his father. His father's kind of weak to me, you know what I mean? But his sister, she picking up arms and she's going to save her baby brother. And she's taking 85 cats. So I guess that leads next season. I guess we're going to see the Greyjoys going up against the Boltons, which should be interesting, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that rolls without the support of her father. So we'll see how that rolls. That'll be an interesting thing next season. So I'm talking about this episode. This episode was more of a just, catch you up on everything. No really true cliffhangers. A couple of things. Where you going to go? We got that. Where you going to go? You know what I mean? You're going to go there with them next season. We know that for sure. And this basically, but I thought it was a solid episode. I just rambled a little bit there. But let's keep going right now. Tywin Lannister and alright, first you get Tyrion. Tyrion's over here with Sansa. And it seems like, hey, possibly this relationship could work out. And this dude gets the news, and Joffrey's over there looking like a little sissy. You know what I mean? Jumping up and down and stuff like that, like all happy and stuff. Like as Grand Poobah said, he looking like a sissy with a bag of dicks. Very happy, real happy. So he looked happy, boy, just because these dudes got chopped down like he had something to do with it. And he had the audacity to try to step to Tywin. Tywin had to put him in his place quick and send his little kid to bed with no supper. So you can see there could be some tension if Joffrey gets a little older. What's going to happen there? Tywin's probably like, fuck it, I'm old anyway, so if he get older, I'll be dead. It don't matter. He'll take it on the next cat. So he probably just willing to do whatever the fuck he got to do. But he's showing, you know what I mean? The bottom line is, you're king, but you ain't got no power. I run this show. I ain't let him know. And the son knows. And it's funny because Tyrion's the only one that's willing to stand up to his father. It seems like everybody else is just shook of him. So Tyrion's the only one that got that juice. But even though you see that his sister is not marrying this dude because she got some type of persuasion over her dad and stuff like that. So then, Tyrion tells his dad, North ain't gonna remember this shit, man. You can't just be killing people like that. And his pops is like, yo, man, what's the difference? I'm gonna kill 12 cats here or 12,000. What would you rather have? Now that brings just into the guest right. And the guest rights is something that is very sacred in Westeros. And the guest right, basically, if you eat bread and salt under somebody's roof, you cannot be harmed. And in this episode, besides that, you heard the story of the rat cook. And the rat cook is the guy who basically, Bran, was it Bran? Yeah, Bran was telling you the story of the rat cook. And Bran tells you, the rat cook was a guy, he took this lord, his son, and he chopped him up and put him in a pie, and he served it to him. The guy liked the son so much, he went back for seconds and thirds. And it wasn't the gods turned this guy into a big giant rat because of it. Not because he killed the guy, but because he hurt the guy underneath his own, against the guest rule, the guest right rule, house guest, whatever. I just said it, you know what I mean. And that's why he killed him. So it's basically foreshadowing, telling you, the phrase, the Boltons, they're the ones who did this, so the North will remember this, hopefully. And, that's the biggest sin you can do. And because you got to have rules in life, and, Kenosha, or whatever you want to call it, and all these other things. Everything has rules, you have to have rules. And if you don't have rules and you start, that's when people in the mafia start getting locked up because the young cats don't obey the rules no more. But if you stick to the rules, you don't get locked up. And this dude just took the most sacred rule they have and just broke it. And his old ass is in trouble. He probably figuring, I'm old, fuck it. What the fuck you gonna do to me? I'm 92. You gonna kill me? Oops. You gonna do this? So that's probably what he's thinking and stuff like that. So then you got that jumps off. So Tywin tells him that and everything else, tells him go put a baby in this chick. But then after that, by that time, he tries to run back up on his wife. He sees her crying, so that relationship ain't working out right there. How's she gonna be with a Lannister after they killed her father, her mother, and now her brother? So you can forget about that. That's a wrap right there. But let's go back to Sam and Bran. he runs into this cat with Gilly and stuff like that, and he recognizes him right away. And I think it's a good moment, you know what I mean? He gives him the dragon glass, and people thought he dropped the one. But if you remember, when he found it, he found like 100 of them underneath that rock inside the thing. So that's why he dropped it, because he had so many. So he gave them a couple and everything else, and sent them beyond the wall and stuff and all that. And you could see that's where their adventure is going to take them, what's lying behind the wall, because the brand said he's the reason he has to go back there and stop that. So after he goes out there, this dude makes it back to the Night's Watch, and then he tells this cat, the Master Aemon, the whole thing. Master Aemon believes him and was like, listen, get the ravens ready. Let them birds fly. We putting all these messages out. And that's exactly what they do. Eventually, Jon gets shot up by his girlfriend for leaving him with tears in her eyes, but he eventually escapes that fucking crazy bitch. Bitch shooting me with arrows, boy. What that is? See, that's what happens when your dick game ain't vicious. Like Tony Teflon's. You know what I mean? I would have dicked that chick. She wouldn't have shot no arrow at me. I guarantee you. She would just been running after me naked. Like, Teflon, please, come back. Please. And that would have been it. And, you know, she'd been shooting herself with a goddamn arrow. Now, Cupid, fuck Cupid. I got a gun. That nigga got an arrow. I pull a gun on that nigga. Straight up. Alright, anyway, besides that, let me get back to this. So, he's going out there, and he gets back, and they drag him in, and like he finally made it home. But it's weird to me that, you know, this dude, you know, the Lord Commander was murdered and usurped by these dudes, and it looks like the Night's Watch, like no one even cares. So, I don't even know what's going on, if these people even made it back or whatever. So, we have to see where that goes next season. But going into that, let me go into the best person of this whole damn show. The man, the myth, the legend, Stannis Baratheon, the true king of Westeros, by all rules of Westeros. Now, in this episode, this dude Davos, who's supposed to have his back, again backstabs Stannis, sets this cat free, so Stannis cannot sacrifice him. So, and what he's trying to do, I don't know if they're going into it, if they said it, but what he's trying to do, if he sacrifices this king's blood and kills this guy, Melisandre is supposedly going to be able to raise the stone dragons that's inside the castle walls that they keep showing. So that's why it's important for him to do it, because he wants to turn those dragons back alive and get those dragons. But now this dude lets this cat free. Why? Because they come from some same flea bottom place? That's some bullshit. So then this guy gets away. So then Stannis got the, as Stannis is and he don't play, about to kill Davos. And Davos hands him the letter from the Night's Watch. And what happens? No other king, lord, or whatever is doing anything about it. But you see Stannis Baratheon, the one who really cares, taking up arms with his depleted army and heading to the wall to go after the White Walkers and the others and the Whites and whatever else is over on that side of the wall. Stannis, that's willing to go out there. Not Joffrey, not nobody else, just Stannis, the only one that got the balls. Don't even know what he's facing, but knows he's going over there. Melisandre's like, this is where the real battle is at. And he's like, this is where we going, girl. Get ready. Peace. And they heading on to the wall, a march on the wall. So next season, you're going to see Stannis in action marching on the wall to defend the realm, his realm, right? Point blank. Now, let's get to Daenerys. And Daenerys' scene was a great scene just to end it with. Now, you see, she has her army. Now, she has her people. And that's what it all comes down to, you know, your people. And now she has her people. She has her followers. And it seems like they're trying to elevate her to, like, Jesus Christ levels. Like, they're trying to make this chick like she's like she's the Messiah. Not like she's just a regular leader. Like, she's actually someone from the heavens, like a god. And that's the way they're doing it. And with her with the little blue on and her hair, and next to all these people in shades of brown, it kind of looked like it. So we'll see where her go. I like the way that the dragons spin off in the end and everything else. So, Arya, my girl, Arya, you see her with the Hound. And this relationship with the Hound is hot. You know, she gets down there, act like she's some hopeless little girl. She's jigged this dude in the neck like American Neat. Like that. Like American Me style. Jigged this dude down. She's not playing. Pulled her coin out and said the words. So it looked like that's what she's going to be all about. She's trying to get to this dude jacking again with this coin and trying to get it on. And the Hound is just like, listen, I don't care if you do that, shorty. Just let me know. I'll kill 20 of these dudes by myself, but just give me a little heads up. It's a little something, you know. So hopefully that relationship keeps continuing. You gotta remember the Hound is very fond of Sansa. So, you know, he may be ugly and stuff like that, and that's what he was trying to tell Sansa, like, you're scared of me. You know, you're scared of my appearance, but it doesn't matter about my appearance. I'm a killer. So was your brother. So was your father. So were your sons. That's how you do it. Killing. Killing is the way to become a knight. Either more people you kill, or the right people you kill. Killing. And that's how it's Clegane, you know what I mean? And that's how you gotta do it. I don't know if there's anything else. There's probably a lot I missed and stuff like that. This is a very long episode, a lot of talking. I liked it. Some people say over talk, but I thought it was great. I really do. I thought the season in the whole was great. I mean, if you look at it, I probably think maybe 2 episodes were bad this whole season. And that's phenomenal. And I know people wanted more after the Red Wedding, but you can't just keep ramping it up. When you get something like that, you got to bring it down. People got to meditate on that. You got to sit on that whole Red Wedding now. Here comes the King of the North. Here comes the King of the North. I can't get that out of my head, that wolf. Head, I paused it on it and everything. You know what it reminds me of? If you have a chance, I would suggest anyone who likes Game of Thrones, especially if at HBO, because it's on HBO on demand, go watch Rome. It's only 2 seasons long. But please watch that. That reminds me of a part when Mark Anthony gets killed and they have a triumph and they had him tied up and they were parading him around. And I think they got that idea from that. Now, if you can, watch Rome. It's probably one of the greatest series, if not one of the greatest series of all time. From HBO, Rome, 2 seasons, and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. You definitely have a chance to watch that show. And this season was great. I want to say thank you to everyone who stayed with me this season. And, you know, it took me a while to get a couple of videos here and there out and stuff like that. But everyone who supports the Don, you know what I mean, ask for the T-shirts. You know, I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get on these T-shirts and I'm going to get that done, you know what I mean? And you know, I appreciate you, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that you're happy that you listen to me and watch me and stuff like that. And I'm going to keep bringing you stuff. So next week we're going to try to do, I got something for these people. I'm going to tell you why Robb and Lord Ned Stark killed themselves. Basically, and people that keep blaming other people, was really the only people to blame is themselves. And they're the ones who got themselves killed. And I'll prove it to you next week or the week after. And then we'll do the recap, the whole season recap. We'll try to get that one to about 45 minutes long. We'll do every episode right through. And we're going to try to keep this popping. Hey, yo, this is the Don, Tony Teflon, House Teflon. We pull the strings, baby. Get at me. Peace.